Good evening, Caps fans, and welcome into Bob Sooner's Capital Ice Arena for tonight's USHL matchup between the visiting Des Moines Buccaneers and your Madison Capitals, as the Capitals look to pick up 4 points on the weekend here against the Buccaneers. Our pregame show, as always, is sponsored by Floor & Decor. Coming up in that pregame show, we'll have your lineups, we'll have your keys to the game, and it's all leading up to puck drop here at Cap Ice in Middleton here this evening as the Caps look to improve to 26-20. 4-2 on the season, which would make them 500 win-loss-wise. Of course, a little bit better than that point percentage-wise. Remember, with the pregame show being sponsored by our friends at Floor & Decor, come explore our unmatched selection of high-quality products, all at everyday low prices, and see how easy creating the space to match your taste can be. Discover your new Floor & Decor, now open in Monona and online at flooranddecor.com. Pardon me on that one. The Capitals last night took down the Waterloo Blackhawks as Des Moines was in Green Bay, fell 5-1 in that one as the two teams facing off here for the third time this season. It'll be the rubber match between these two sides. Madison winning early on in the season by a score of 7-2. Des Moines countered with a win on home ice in Des Moines there to take down the Caps 4-1 in mid-November. The Capitals looking to get 4 points on the weekend and keep climbing the Eastern Conference standings. At the moment, they've played the same amount of games as the Youngstown Phantoms, who sit 6 points ahead of them. But, of course, a big series coming up Easter weekend in Youngstown at the Covelli Center. Capitals, if they win both of those games or take multiple points from those games, you never know what can happen. You can keep climbing, and who knows, mid-April we could have a home playoff series here at Cap Ice. Coming up in pregame, we'll recap the games from last night for both Madison and Des Moines. But before we even get to that, why don't you just take a look at the replays from last night in our highlight package, thanks to our friends at the Allen Lund Company and Marian University, a big part of our Cross-Check Cancer Night. The Capitals would like to thank those two companies and universities for their support of Cross-Check Cancer Night. Businesses and universities just like theirs help us donate tickets to cancer survivors and their families to come out and enjoy tonight's game. Here's last night's highlights. Rosenbaum, the two teams ready at center ice, and we're underway here in Middleton. Is up the far side wall. It's sent down into the offense the other way on the stick, that time of Erdman. Erdman spins up against the wall. Thought about taking it out towards neutral ice, but will think better of it and send it to Deering in the corner. Deering up top now, Compton. Compton looking for an option, sends one towards the goal, and it deflects along the way into the back of the goal, and Dylan Compton, goal number. The Capitals take back over. Rollers behind the goal, takes it to the near side. Michaud on the top of the near side circle, scores! The Capitals tie it at 1. 12:01 to go, period number 2. Charlie Michaud scores for Madison, 4th goal of the season, 20th point of his career, and the Capitals out for a couple of weeks there. Far side trying to thread the needle was Kuzma. Back up top, Henry. Far side, Delaney looking for options. Back up top, Henry. Near side, Kuzma. One-time shot. Scored! Andrew Kuzma! Power play goal. 21st goal of the season. Gives Madison their first lead. Once again, Miller shot goes wide, and the Capitals start back the other way, or at least kill some time off and start that far side. Delaney trying to win the race to it. Vachon pokes it away. Kuzma, one-time shot. Scored! Second of the night for Kuzma. Ties the Capitals' career Tier 1 franchise record for goals with that one. Goal number 39 of his Caps career. Top. Face off on the far side, just outside the defensive zone as the Capitals send this one down deep inside the offensive zone. This one sits out front, and Waterloo brings themselves back within 1. A turnover gives Madison. Eventually the Caps will start up ice. Nagel avoids the first check. Kuzma now from a sharp angle. Plays it out front, far side. Elias towards the goal. Rebound, sits there. Nagel scores. Madison once again in the driver's seat by 2. Max Nagel picks up goal number 8. Felicio will start up ice with 1:24 to go here in the third. Felicio to the middle of the ice, intercepted along the way. Waterloo has to touch up as it's carried in on the far side. Kuzma sends one towards the goal. Will this be the record? Sure enough, it is. Kuzma picks up 40th goal of the season. Back here at Bob Suter's Capital Ice Arena, as last night both teams in action. You just saw the Capitals highlights from that 5-2 victory over the Waterloo Blackhawks. Let's take a look at our scoring summary from last night's game. 4:21 in the period number one. It was Dylan Compton with his first career USHL goal, giving Waterloo an early 1-0 lead. Wisconsin commit Grady Deering with the primary assist on that one. The third line centerman played all night for Waterloo. For the Capitals, they trailed 1-0 at intermission, and Waterloo had been really successful on the road this season. In fact, undefeated on the road this season, one leading after one on the road this season, 5-0, 0-0 on this season. But Madison looked to turn the table in period number two. Charlie Michaud, early on in the period, scored his fourth of the season from Rayners Rollers to give Madison the 1-1 tie that would quickly become a 2-1 lead, with Andrew Kuzma striking for his 21st of the season on the power play from Henry and Delaney to give the Capitals the 2-1 lead. Kuzma would add another at the 18-16 mark of the period. Unassisted on that one, the goaltender Vachon poked it out to him, and Kuzma slammed it home to give the Caps a 3-1 lead at intermission. Early on in period number three, Waterloo thought that they may have all the momentum as Grady Deering scored to get Waterloo back within one. It took an odd bounce off the stanchion. Patrick Sberzinch had vacated his cage, and in that process lost possession there as the Capitals will eventually bounce back a couple minutes later. Max Nagel, 18th of the season from Elias and Kuzma on that one to give Madison the 4-2 lead. Kuzma added an empty netter, which was the team's career goal record for the Tier 1 level. Kuzma's 23rd of this season there. Madison took home that 5-2 victory, and they'll look to take home another here tonight. Waterloo, of course, will travel to Green Bay. That's where Des Moines was last night. Des Moines falls 5-1 in Green Bay last night. Protas got the scoring started for Des Moines as he scored his 12th of the season halfway through period number one, but it was all Green Bay from there. Danilov, Lemix, Russell, Danilov, and D'Angelo scored 5 unanswered as the Gamblers ran Ethan Dahlmeyer out of the goal, gave up 4 goals on 15 shots in 33 minutes of action. Reinhold came in and shut him down 12 for 12, but too little too late for Des Moines last night. They look to bounce back here this evening against the Capitals. And before we get into tonight's matchup, let's take a look back at previous matchups between these two sides this season. At the Fall Classic, the first game of the season for both squads, Madison took home a 7-2 victory. James Hong, Austin Bernovic again. Borozinski's gave Des Moines some life, 3-1. The Capitals led halfway through the second. Jay Karazi, Kuzma, and Barlagi scored to give Madison the 6-1 lead at intermission number 2. Dahlmeyer was pulled. Kuzma gave Madison the 7-1 lead on the power play early on in the third, but Minahan would answer to take home the 7-2 victory for Madison back in September. But then in November, on the road in Des Moines, Madison unable to get anything really going in that one. Leon Watkins scored early on in that one for his first of the season. Watkins, now on the year, has 18 goals, so first of a good season for Watkins. They're Keevan and Bettini on the assist. Bettini we actually saw last night with Waterloo. Felicio for Madison at the time scored a goal that tied things up 2 minutes into the third, but Protas again, Keevan with an assist, and Watkins were able to get Des Moines the 4-1 victory in that one. Coming up after the break, we'll have your lines for tonight's matchup, your coaching staff as well as your scratches. Starting lineups presented by Bergstrom Auto, and it's all leading up to puck drop here at Bob Suter's Capital Ice Arena. 7:05 puck drop once again here this evening. Cross-check Cancer Night, benefiting our friends at the American Cancer Society. The Capitals will be wearing specialty jerseys all night long. You can go and find those on madcapshockey.com. Bid on those jerseys, proceeds heading to the American Cancer Society. Puck drop right after this. You're listening to the home of the Capitals, the Capitals Radio Network. Back here at Bob Suter's Capital Ice Arena, it's time to take a look at your lineups thanks to our friends at MadCapsHockey.com. James Hong, Rainers, Rollers, Austin Bernovic up front for the Capitals, Delaney, Kuzma, and Nagel on the second line, Brandt, Rice, and Johnson on the third line, Long with Lamb and Uhlenkamp on line 4. As Ty will be the extra forward tonight for the Capitals. Michaud and Elias on the first pair of defense. Stout and Henry on the second pair. Jamison and Toby on the third pair. And Sean Ramsey is the extra defenseman tonight for Madison. Carson Musser gets the start for the Caps. Let's take a look at your starting lineup presented by Bergstrom Auto. Garrett Drotz, Braden Ford, and Adam Slinka up front for Des Moines. Engel and Dyer on the back end, and Dahlmeyer is the goaltender tonight for Des Moines. For Madison, it's Delaney, Kuzma, Nagel up front, Stout, Henry on the back end, and Carson Musser in between the pipes for Madison this evening. The Capitals are led by head coach and general manager Andy Brandt. Des Moines led by head coach and GM Matt Curley. Puck drop right around the corner here on the Capitals Radio Network. You're listening to the home of the Capitals Radio Network. Welcome into tonight's broadcast here at Bob Suter's Capital Ice Arena. My name's Drew Steele. I'll be captaining the ship going through your ear ocean all evening long. The Capitals hosting the Des Moines Buccaneers here this evening. It'll be the rubber match of the season series between these two sides. The Capitals wearing their cross-check cancer jerseys here once again this season. Of course, the Capitals would like to thank Allen Lund Company as well as Marian University for their support of Cross-Check Cancer Night. Universities and businesses just like theirs help us donate tickets to cancer survivors and their families to come out and enjoy tonight's game. The Capitals will travel right to left wearing those cross-check cancer jerseys. They're white trimmed with lavender and navy. Des Moines wearing the royal tops, traveling left to right, trimmed with white and red. Goaltending matchup tonight, Ethan Dahlmeyer for Des Moines, Waterloo up in Green Bay. That's who the Capitals faced last night and beat 5-2. Dahlmeyer in his 39th game this season, 1-1 against Madison. Carson Musser on the other side, 1-0 against Des Moines on the year. As we're at center ice, ready to go. Officials for tonight's game, as assigned by the United States Hockey League, William Fraser and Miroslav Irantz, as well as linesmen Wyatt Corrigan and TJ Lyle. Kuzma and Ford get things underway here this evening as welcome into Cap Ice. Down in the corner, the Capitals chase after it. John Stout goes back into the corner, but up the near side wall. Garrett Drott sends it there as the Capitals start back the other way, thanks to a Max Nagel stick lift and sends it towards the offensive zone. Nagel in all alone. A shot stopped along the way by goaltender Ethan Dahlmeyer, who holds on for a whistle. 21 seconds into period number one. Scoreless here at Cap Ice as both teams will get a new unit out there and get some fresh legs out onto the ice. It'll be the top line for Des Moines. Des Moines lost 5-1 last night in Green Bay, 5 unanswered for the Gamblers, and it ran Ethan Dahlmeyer after just 33 minutes of play last night. 11 for 15 was Dahlmeyer, but Dahlmeyer started in both of these games, or now all three of the games against Madison this season, as the puck down on that far side, picked up by Van Ruyen, and sends it out towards neutral ice. The Capitals will glove it down and re-enter the zone at the far side wall. Hong carries into the corner, thought about powering his way towards the goal, instead spins back towards the top of the zone, but we'll have to poke it along the end wall to Bernovic. Bernovic up the far side. The captain, Elias, will hold in. Near side, Michaud picked up his 4th of the season last night. Brings it around the kick plate where it's picked up on the far side by the Penn State commit, Connor Buick, and he'll go through neutral ice before having to turn it over right to the stick of Austin Bernovic. Hong has his stick lifted. Protas into the offensive zone. Protas in the near side corner, battling there with Michaud and Hong. To his side work there. The Capitals playing up the far side while Ben Keevan puts some pressure on Bernovic and he turns it over. Grammer at the line. Shot deflected into the corner. The Capitals will pick up and start up the near side wall. Michaud through neutral. Tried to get things to the far side. Looked like he was trying to dump it in initially. The Capitals will be forced to take it out towards neutral ice where Nathan Toby can settle things down. A stick broken just inside the Capitals' defensive zone. Nathan Toby will go and pick things up, and the Caps start up the middle of the ice. This one deflected, so no icing on the play, so Ethan Dahlmeyer will go play it to his defenseman up that far side, and Grammer played last season with Des Moines, as well as a bunch of these players have. They're still kind of a young team, as this one from a sharp angle sent out front from the forward, Adam Zelinka. Zelinka acquired via trade from Sioux Falls, and up the near side wall. The Capitals send it out towards neutral ice where Van Ruyen had a chance to get things started at the middle and settle at the backtrack to Owen West. West turns it over on a pass. Sam Rice will start the trek up ice for Madison just 2 minutes into period number one. Still scoreless. Last night, if you joined us here on Caps Radio on YouTube or on Flow Hockey, Waterloo scored first in that one, and it was 5 minutes into the first period. Is Gavin Uhlenkamp off the bench into the offensive zone. He's tripped up. No call comes from it. And it comes up the near side wall where Des Moines can start back up the other way. As I was mentioning, it was Waterloo scoring first last night. And the Capitals battled from behind, scored 3 second-period goals to take a 3-1 lead into intermission, and they would never look back at that point. It was Waterloo's first game where they led after the first intermission on the road this season that they fell. They were 5-0-0-0 prior. Capitals made it 5-1 as Des Moines will send that one down in deep. Jack Henry chases back after it. He'll start up that far side, and Madison enters the offensive zone on the far side. It's Uhlenkamp chipping it down in deep. Delaney puts some forecheck. Kuzma does as well. Kuzma with a hat trick last night. Breaks the franchise's Tier 1 career goals record with 40. With the Caps played for this Bucks team. Was acquired via trade last November. Elias backhands it to the far side. Delaney chugs his legs and gets things started up the far side wall. Chips it into the corner. Max Nagel goes and receives there for Madison. Down into the corner, it's relayed along by Kuzma to Delaney on the near side half wall. Delaney up the near side, sends it into the corner out front. Chance for Kuzma, whiffs on it, goes to the point. Held in at the line by Elias. Near side, Nagel. Back up top, Elias on possession. 3:30 into period number 1. This one takes an odd bounce off the end wall where Dahlmeyer will cover up and hold for a whistle. As let's take a look at our goaltending matchup presented by our friends at MadCapsHockey.com. Carson Muster gets the start for Madison tonight. 14-9-2-2 on the season in 27 appearances for Madison this year. 2.72 goals against and a 9.05 goals against average. For Des Moines, it's Ethan Dahlmeyer. As I mentioned, started all 3 games now against Madison. 1-1 against the Caps, but on the year 17-18, 1-0 with a 2.83 goals against average and a 9.02 save percentage to his credit. One of the better goaltenders in the league and helping keep this Des Moines team afloat at points this year is probably the nice way to put that. 21-25, 5-1, sitting outside the playoff picture in the Western Conference. Up the near side, Hong gets that one into the offensive zone for a brief moment before Waterloo can counter back the other way. Up the near side into the offensive zone, it's Protas. Protas takes it into the corner and picks up behind the goal. Protas tried to get it to the point. Bernovic takes over there for Madison. Bernovic backhands it up the wall, and now John Stout through neutral ice carries into the offensive zone and sends it down to the corner where the Capitals can chase after it. Up the near side wall, Rainer's Rollers works. Comes to Bernovic with a shot and a nice save by Dahlmeyer. Might have went wide the whole way, but Dahlmeyer got a piece of it as the Capitals backtrack all the way deep inside their own defensive zone before regrouping as Colton Jamieson sending that one down in. Dahlmeyer thought about playing it, but he leaves it there for Van Rooyen and leaves for his defensive partner in Buick. Buick up that far side wall through neutral ice come the Buccaneers as Jamieson will go chase after it in the far side corner. He'll pick up there and start up the near side before spinning and reversing course to the far. Michaud up that far side wall, stepping off the wall there for a brief moment was Brendan Ty, an affiliate called up this week. He'll be here this week and next for Madison as, of course, the chase to the playoffs begins. Ty, of course, could play himself into a role in this playoff chase for Madison, icing on the Capitals. 5 minutes even into period number 1. Our score 0-0. Capitals and Buccaneers going at it here at Cap Ice. Mentioned a little bit earlier, Des Moines on the road last night in Green Bay. They had to split time in net as Dahlmeyer ran out of the goal in the second period by Green Bay. Gave up 4 goals in that second period, part of 5 unanswered for the Gamblers. Protas actually got him on the board first in that one in period number 1. This one at the line. Ashton Doms to the far side. Doms played with the Minnesota Wilderness in the NAHL earlier this season before getting the call up. The Minnesota Duluth commit will be future teammates at the collegiate level with John Stout. Through neutral ice, Theo Kiss had his first attempt sent back to him, and Des Moines will enter up the far side. Kernan into the offensive zone. Kernan played high school hockey with Finn Brink at Maple Grove High School. Maple Grove High School, also where Ethan Elias attended his high school play as well. Up the far side, down in deepest Kiss. He'll play it down to the corner. No one home for Des Moines, so the Capitals should have a relatively easy breakout through neutral ice. Lamb chips it into the near side corner, just kind of shoveled it along. Long will go put some pressure. Lamb there as well. Both attack a different side of the defenseman who was down there in Brady Smith, and it's turned over. The Capitals on possession, at least for a brief moment, before sending a player down to the ice surface on that far side. Down to the surface, there was Owen West. Through neutral ice, the Capitals chip it. Back the other way comes Des Moines. It'll be no icing as a nice hustle play there by Paul Minahan. Minahan, a longtime NAHL veteran with Northeast Generals. Chipping that one down in deep as Edison Angle, formerly of the Chicago Reapers. Musser will play it at the far side wall. The Capitals will try to chip out, and they're successful in doing so. It's Kuzma and Long. Kuzma into the offensive zone. Thought about powering his way towards the goal. Instead, he'll take it behind the cage. Kuzma looking for a lane. Drops there for a defenseman coming off the bench. Stout backdoor feed. Sits out front. Kuzma sends one towards the goal, and they say no. The second one goes in. It's Aiden Long for the Capitals, giving them an early 1-0 lead. Goal number 7 of the season for the Mono Ontario native. That goal coming at the 6:35 mark of period number 1. Kuzma thought he had it initially. Long eventually will slam home the rebound. The first one clearly does not go in, And Long, I don't know if he got a piece of it. Either way, it goes into the back of the net. I think they might take a look at it for goaltender interference on the far side. The referees gathered for a brief moment, but they will not call it. And the Capitals will maintain that 1-0 lead early on in period number 1. Kuzma right in the action once again. I think Kuzma was the one who will actually be awarded with the goal. Kuzma's 24th of the season, if it does go his way, as the Capitals unable to win the draw at center ice, but I think they'll be okay with that, as this one's sent down in deep. The Capitals will start up that far side. Henry turns it over on possession. Keevan leaves there for Protas. Protas has it kicked around, and he'll try to play it up the near side, but Keevan digs it back up and sends it to far. Henry tries to play it along the wall, but Protas eventually to the kick plate on the near side. Buick at the line will hold down into the zone for a brief moment before Stout and company can send out towards neutral ice. It'll come right back in, but it'll be delayed offside, so the Capitals will force Des Moines to touch up. It should have been a clear and easy breakout, but the Capitals turn it over at neutral. Jack Henry back there for a moment. John Stout will play up the near side. Kuzma chips it to the far. The Capitals chase after it, and now Nagel through neutral ice has Delaney with him on a 2-on-2. Nagel into the far side corner, brings it to the near, throws on the brakes, and sheds his defender that's on him in Van Ruyen. Puck pops up against the wall. Nagel comes away with it. Nagel up top. Elias, far side. Delaney one-time shot blockered away by Dahlmeyer. Elias at the point, thought about trying to hold in. Instead, it's him and Keevan off to the races. Back for the puck in the defensive zone for Madison as Michaud will pick up and start back the other way as that race was won by Elias. Delaney into the offensive zone. Bernovic in the high slot. Bernovic with a shot. Nice shot block along the way there by Braden Ford. And now off to the races back the other way are the Buccaneers. Pass blocked as it looked like they were trying to feed it to Garrett Drotz out of the lineup last night for this Bucks team. As towards the middle of the ice, that one sent. Rollers gets a piece on it, so it goes into the corner where Zelenko will go pick up for Des Moines. Shot blocked along the way by Bernovic. Michaud in the near side corner can start up ice up the far side wall for Elias for a brief moment as the Capitals chip it towards the middle of the ice. 11.5 to go, period number 1. 1-0 our score as the Capitals will make a couple of changes. A near too many men call as Toby will have to backtrack deep inside the Capitals defensive zone. Bernovic will eventually send there for Hong, and into the offensive zone comes Hong. He has Rice out front, feeds it there. Rice with a shot, a nice save by the goaltender in Dahlmeyer, and Jamison gets it at the point, sends one towards the goal. It rifles wide. Toby holds in on the far side. Bernovic down in the corner looking for Rice. Roller's already done with this shift. It went for a change. Has up the near side wall. Des Moines able to break out, and into the offensive zone come the Buccaneers. Musser thought about going out of his cage to play it in the far side. Theo Kiss will work behind the goal. Rice wrestled down to the surface by the forward and Jack Kernan. Up the near side wall. Des Moines spends it up to the point after a couple of chances for the Buccaneers went wide. The Capitals will finally pick up possession on that far side and just chip it out towards neutral where it's gloved down at Owen Dyer. Dyer spent last season with Oklahoma in the NAHL, had a stint with Muskegon at the early part of the season. Jack Kernan sends one that ramps up the stick of Jack Henry up and out of play for a whistle. 10:30 to go, period number 1. 1-0 our score as a faceoff will be in the defensive zone when we do return to action. But before that, there will be a check presented from Military Night Badger Honor Flight. They're rolling out the carpets deep inside the defensive zone for Madison. Of course, Military Appreciation Night and Cross-Check Cancer Night, two of our biggest nights here at Bob Suter's Capitol Ice Arena. As they're handing over the check for Badger Honor Flight. You see it there. The Capitals were able to get a whole bunch of cool things for Badger Honor Flight. That gets troops to D.C. to see all the monuments and stuff that they fought for. As always a great one. They were able to donate $2,400 there, and the Capitals, with your support, would love to do the same to the American Cancer Society here with the Dash Auctions jersey auction once again. You see them wearing them tonight. You can bid on those jerseys at madcapshockey.com. You can find the link to that as well. Faceoff will be deep inside the defensive zone for Madison. It'll be to the left of Musser in goal. Of course, with Cross-Check Cancer Night, the Capitals would like to thank Allen Lund Company and Marian University for their support of Crosscheck Cancer Night. Their support helps us donate tickets to cancer survivors and their family to come out and enjoy tonight's game, as well as helping us get a nice check written just like that one you just saw to the American Cancer Society. Des Moines wins the offensive zone draw, and they take over on possession right away as they trail 1-0. Aiden Long with the lone goal here in this one thus far, as shoveling up the near side wall was Brendan Lamb. Sean Ramsey keeps it moving forward, and the Capitals will try to start up ice. They're unable to clear the zone as a nice pass break up by Minahan. This one sent out front. Rebound sits there. Des Moines tries to shove it home, and after the whistle, Aiden Long says, "Take a seat, pal." And Nate Delladonna, the Bishop Kearney AAA player, down to his rear end for a brief moment. Just north of halfway to go in period number one. 1-0 our score, and Des Moines trying to score a goal at the other end. Madison was able to score one that looked almost identical. There's a little hodgepodge unit in the mix of a change. Face-off will be on the far side to the right of Musser in goal. Kuzma and Watkins, the two-team centermen. Hold them up, boys. A warning given to Kuzma of Madison. 10:03 remains, period number one. Has 3 to his left and 1 to his right. He wins it over to Stout on that far side corner. Stout battling, though, as he's sent up against the wall by Protis. Protis actually gains possession back for Des Moines. Up top, a shot comes from the point. It deflects up and out of play. It bounces off of the heating pipe here at Cap Ice back into play. Ethan Elias gloves it down and gets things ready to start back up just 11 seconds after they did it. They'll do it once again on that far side. Kuzma and Watkins, the second line for Madison. You blinked last night, though. You might have thought this was the first unit for Madison, and this unit's put up some good numbers themselves. 2 40-point scorers on each of the top 2 lines for the Capitals, providing some depth here this season for Madison. Kuzma out there for 4 goals last night, including a hat trick for himself, 3 goals and 1 assist. Stout up the near side wall. Delaney unable to play it off the wall. Protis will be there for Des Moines and get things started up the far side of the Omaha commit. Liam Watkins. Stout tries to glove it down. Keevan will beat him to it in the corner after he's unable to. He'll play it off that far side. I don't know if that was an attempted shot at goal or what that was, but it goes through the slot and forces Des Moines to regroup and enter the offensive once again. Protis in the corner. Thought about powering his way out front. Instead takes behind the goal, far side. Held in at the line by Des Moines, and now the Capitals force a turnover and start back the other way. It was Edison Angle unable to really get the wood on it that he wanted, as Des Moines will play it off the end wall and start back the other way. 8:55 to go, period number one, as Owen Dyer carries into the offensive zone. Dyer drops back. A shot comes from that far side half wall from Delladonna, and the Caps back the other way. The top line out there for Madison. Held off the score column last night as the Capitals will be forced to touch up here through neutral ice now. Back the other way comes Des Moines. Minahan throws a shot on goal. Michaud leaves there for Rullers at the far side. Now Bernovic. Bernovic and Rullers have played almost the entirety of the season together. Ahead for Hong. Hong into the far side corner, throws on the brakes. Feeds it off the near side wall for Bernovic. He slows things down and settles possession for Madison. Throws one towards the goal. Hong with a chance on the redirected shot. Goes wide up the far side window as Des Moines will force Madison back into their defensive zone here. Back on the far side is Andrew Clark, spent last season with the Norsemen in St. Cloud in the NAHL. And up the near side, James Hong able to start things back the other way. This one bounces out of play. A faceoff will come just outside the Des Moines bench. That one jumped over the Des Moines bench. Looks like all the fans and spectators here this evening look to be all right, as a faceoff will come here in just a moment. The third line for Madison heads out onto the ice. Brandt, Rice, and Johnson for the Capitals kind of established themselves this third line for the Capitals. And with the new blood inserted into the lineup for Madison, you always have to really be on your A game as you have players that are sitting out. And now Sam Rice with a chance as that one played wide. On that far side, Rice will go and work in the corner. Up the far side wall, Des Moines able to chip this one out towards neutral where Sean Ramsey can settle for the Capitals. Johnson through neutral ice, rather that's Brandt up the near side, has his stick lifted there, and Sean Ramsey recovers and sends it down in deep. Owen West starts the far side wall through neutral ice, bounced around a bit before Des Moines will eventually settle it down and start back up. They send it down in deep, a dump and chase method here for the Buccaneers. It'll be Ramsey back off the end wall for a brief moment before starting up the near side wall. Brandt stick checks a player there for Des Moines, and it allows Sam Rice to take possession into the offensive zone for the Caps. Gets caught up in the feet of a linesman for a moment, and a scrum occurs where Des Moines skates away with possession. Just north of 7 to go in the first, as Des Moines sends this one all the way down in deep where Musser can lie there for Stout. Starts up that far side wall. Grammer uses the body wisely and just kind of keeps body away from puck. That time of Brendan Ty, who is coming in with a whole bunch of speed off the bench. Ty, one of those affiliate players that were called up this past week, Mason Moe, as well as Gavin Uhlenkamp. Uhlenkamp actually activated the active roster here this season as well. Earlier this year, Uhlenkamp was on the roster with Mason Moe. Both went back to play some high school hockey in Minnesota. Both led their teams in points. And now into the offensive zone. The Capitals looked like they were going to have a chance for Brendan Ty. Instead, settling things down just inside their own defensive blue line was Des Moines. Musser will glove it down and a play to Henry. Henry throws on the brakes behind his own goal and starts up the far side wall. Much less choppy here this evening between these two sides in the first period. Last night it felt like there was a whistle every other play. And fresh off the bench, Andrew Kuzma, who had 3 last night, will carry into the offensive zone. The former Buccaneer into the far side corner, takes it behind the goal, picks up on the near side, leaves for Delaney. Delaney back to Kuzma. Kuzma up top, Michaud. Had one of his own last night to the captain Elias. Far side, feeds it out front. Puck finds its way into the corner where Delaney can take over. Down beneath the goal line, Kuzma. Kuzma up the far side wall, tried to drop down into the corner, but it stays in his feet where it's picked up by Minahan, and Des Moines back the other way with numbers. Clark, Minahan, now back for a player there in a trailing Connor Buick, and Madison back the other way. 2-on-1. Kuzma has it poked off of his stick from angle. A nice job by the 06-07 defenseman in his rookie season here in the league. Forces a scrum on the near side wall. Andrew Clark will go and clear things up and start up ice for the Buccaneers. 5:15 to go in period number 1 as the Capitals lead 1-0 in this one. Aiden Long with the lone tally. It was this unit scoring for Madison. Aiden Long was just still out there on the back end of his change as this one sent down in deep by Angle. The Capitals go chase after it back in their defensive zone. Elias leaves for Michaud. Michaud turns it over but goes and grabs it right back for the Capitals as the Caps start up ice. Rellners feeds it that time into the offensive zone. Nagel goes for a change, and Bernovic fresh off the bench on the near side will eventually get possession from Rullers. It looked like Rullers intended to get it to him. Instead, it goes up that far side where Nathan Toby takes over for Madison. Toby to the middle for Rullers, up that far side wall into the offensive zone. Bernovic has Jamison on the near side. Jamison with a shot and a nice save there by Dahlmeyer. Starting back the other way are the Buccaneers, and Keevan will just send it into the far side corner. Picked up in that far side corner by Toby, and Rullers can start up for Madison. Bernovic on that far side wall, plays it to the middle, no one home for the Capitals, and back the other way comes the player in Van Ruyen. He'll play it on goal where Musser sent there. A player awkwardly goes into the wall, that being Jack Henry. Henry hops back up to his feet, played his first game since early February last night, returning from injury. Henry up the far side wall, finds Bernovic. Bernovic, Rice, and Hong out there for Madison, but Hong will go make a change as well as Bernovic now as Rice goes and picks up possession in the far side corner, loses the wheel and starts up ice to the Buccaneers. 3:40 to go in the first. 1-0 still remains the score as the Buccaneers send one in on goal. Blockered into the far side corner by the Capitals goaltender, Carson Musser. Brandt up the far side through neutral ice, plays it to the middle for a brief moment. Ramsey to the far side and into the offensive zone. The Capitals tried to get it on possession to Jack Brandt, and a cross-check will get it right back for him. Brandt on the far side has it roll off the end of his stick and back the other way. Come Des Moines for a brief moment. A whole line change, though, up front and offside. The Capitals were. It would have been a great chance for the Caps. 3-on-2 as all 3 forwards for Des Moines wait for a change at that point. But offside the call, so that rush negated by the whistle. This is a great time to remind you that Floor & Decor is a great sponsor of the broadcast. Come explore our unmatched selection of high-quality products, all at everyday low prices, and see how easy creating the space to match your taste can be. Discover your new Floor & Decor, now open in Monona and online at flooranddecor.com. Face-off one back by the Capitals up the near side. Long will send it down into the far side corner where Lamb chases after it for Madison. Uhlenkamp there to regain possession for the Capitals, but it takes an odd bounce off. Held in at the line for a moment, it looked like, by the Capitals. They say no, but the Capitals all touched up by that point anyway. Up the near side wall, Des Moines will continue possession up the wall, where Deladonna sends it off the end wall on the far side, or rather the side wall. Either way, John Stout will be the first one to it deep inside the defensive zone. A nice bit of forechecking there from Ashton Doms, his former teammate, or future teammate, I should say, at Minnesota Duluth. Tied him up for a brief moment before the Capitals can start back the other way. 2.5 to go in the first. Caps up 1-0. Aiden Long with the lone goal. It was a dirty area goal. Some call it a garbage goal. Some call it a dirty area. Either way, you have to go to the dirty areas to win in just about any league that you want to succeed in, and this is no exception, especially when you're playing a team from the West who will like to dump and chase as much as this Des Moines team. Delaney feeds it to the middle. No one home, or people were home. It just didn't have enough oomph to get there. Sending it down in deep is Andrew Clark. He'll chip it into the far side. Rather, it'll be the near on Jameson's stick where he'll take it to the far. And Jameson poked up that far side. He's taken down. No call will come as the Capitals try to take over on possession. Instead, it's Des Moines with a shot. Rebound pops off the end wall actively, but it's held there for a moment by the Capitals, and they'll send it down into the offensive zone where Andrew Clark can relay over to Edison Angle. They'll start back up. Icing up coming on Des Moines. 1:38 to go, period number one. 1-0 our score as the Capitals have an offensive zone draw here in a moment. Faceoff will be on the near side, and the top line out there for Madison. Bernovic, Rullers, Hong, Ramsey, and Toby for the Caps. Fourth line out there for Des Moines. Faceoff to the right of Dahlmeyer in goal. Dahlmeyer picked up the loss last night in Green Bay. Right back to him, though. 39th game played. Hasn't played in about 10 games for this Des Moines squad. He started the season off with the Bucks and will continue play here this evening. Faceoff was won by Des Moines. They force it out towards neutral ice where Ramsey on possession for the Caps, sending it to the far side. Hong will deflect it down, and he'll send it down off of a shin pad into the corner. Caps will go for a couple of changes. It looked like instead they all just retreat to their positions. They had to go towards the bench to do so. As that one down in deep. Another icing call on Des Moines, getting an offensive zone draw once again for Madison. 1:11 to go in the first period. 1-0 the Capitals in the lead on this one. Should be a fun intermission ahead here at Cap Ice. Not as fun as it will be next week. Wiener Dog races presented by Portillo's. Tickets are still available at tickets.madcavshockey.com. 3 races in the first intermission, 1 in the second. The 1 in the second will be the championship. Also, there will be a deal popping up on our social media pages where it's unlimited hot dogs and a ticket for $20. Stout in the corner. Up that far side wall, held in on the far side by Henry. Henry takes it down to the corner, tried to feed it out front. Instead, it's tied up against the wall for a brief second as the Capitals try to keep possession in the offensive zone. Bernovic able to continue it, forces it out front, though. Protas turns it over, and it eventually, once again, finds the stick of a Cap where they feed it to a Buccaneer. The Buccaneer throws it on goal. Instead, ramps up and goes out of play. It was Ben Keevan doing such. Keevan, a big part of this Des Moines squad this year. 49 games played. 2007-born player taken in the Phase 1 draft this past summer. Face-off will be to the right of Musser in goal. Rice and Ford, the two-team centermen in the circle. Face-off is won forward by Rice and out of the zone. So with 40 seconds to go in the period, Des Moines will have to send it down in deep, and the Capitals will start up the near side wall. Through neutral ice, the Capitals tried to clear instead. It's a turnover deep inside. A shot from a sharp angle. A nice save by Musser, and the Capitals will clear all the way down. Unless it catches up on an edge, sure enough it will. It would have been icing. The icing waved off, and Des Moines picks up from beyond their own goal line. Zelinka deflects that one down in deep, and the Capitals chase after it. Michaud, far side there for Elias. Michaud plays it out front. Brandt will play with the backhand out towards neutral ice, and that'll be where the last couple of seconds of period number 1 expire. Ethan Elias got that one up in the glove area at the end of the period. You see him there kind of shaking up as the Capitals will take a 1-0 lead through our first 20 minutes of play. It was Aiden Long with the lone goal in period number 1. You know, I can tell you about it all you want, but if you're watching on Flow Hockey, why not show it to you as well? thanks to our crew in the back room, as the Caps up 1-0 through 20 minutes. And it's been a physical contest, to say the least, but it's a goal from Aiden Long in this one, and you see a couple of chances for Madison on the rush. Des Moines likes to play that dump and chase style, and there's that last chance you saw just a couple of seconds ago. But here's the goal. Aiden Long, they say, gets a piece of it, and he celebrates like he does as well. I didn't quite see it go in, but sure enough, it goes off of his shoulder and into the back of the net, and the Capitals take a 1-0 lead after the first 20 minutes of play into intermission. You're listening to Capitals Hockey on Flow Hockey and on the Capitals Radio Network. Caps lead 1-0. 20 minutes in the books here at Bob Suter's Capital Ice Arena as the Capitals with a 1-0 lead through the first 20 minutes of action here this evening. Aiden Long with the lone goal in period number 1. But let's take a look at how we got here to this 1-0 lead for Madison. It was a chippy period. Teams from the West like to play a little bit harder here, and Carson Muster was doing a great job in that first period of play. And here's the goal. Here's how it went in. Aiden Long with the tally. You see the above net camera. It kind of bounces off of his shoulder there, and the Capitals take a 1-0 lead into period number 2. We'll flip sides here in the second period. Capitals will travel left to right. In the period of the long change, we're in the white tops trimmed with lavender and navy. Des Moines, right to left, trimmed with white and red are their royal blue tops. Back at center ice, Kuzma and Ford ready to get things back underway here in the second as the puck is down and play is resumed. Drotz towards the middle of the ice there, looking to feed it to the centerman Ford. Instead, it's sent down in deep. Chasing after it there is Van Ruyen. Van Ruyen up the far side wall on possession for a moment. Or the far side winger on there for Zelinka. Zelinka will eventually capture possession as it rolls around the kick plate to him on the far side. Near side shot comes off the stick that time of the defenseman Van Ruyen, and it goes to the far side on the rebound where Zelinka chases after it for Des Moines. Held in at the line. Buick sends one towards the goal. It deflects up and over the goal and back behind the goal. Zelinka sends one towards it, goes through the slot and out towards neutral ice in period number 1. Des Moines outshot the Caps 12-7 in that period. Neither team found their way on a man advantage. It's up the far side wall. Delaney tried to play it to the middle for Jamison. Instead, on that far side, the Capitals chase back after it. Different styles of play for sure between these two sides. Des Moines likes to play that dump and chase type style of hockey. As you'll see them throughout the period, achieve the offensive red line or offensive half of center ice and send it down in deep to negate icing. But the Capitals will have to find a way to play their game. And last night they really settled into their game here in the second period. They're up 1 in this one, but obviously pace of play kind of leans Des Moines' way thus far. Hong into the offensive zone on the far side. Edison chases back after it. Or rather, that's Engel. Edison Engel for Des Moines up that far side wall. Starts the breakout and through neutral ice. Comes on the stick of Dyer before it's turned over by Des Moines and sent back into the offensive zone by James Hong, at least for a moment before it's poked off of his stick, and the Capitals start back the other way. Hong on the near side as it rolled off the end of his stick and through neutral now. It's sent down in deep. Dyer will start up the far side wall. Kiss kicks it off the wall where Keevan can start things back up ice for Des Moines. Keevan leaves there for the middle on possession. Kiss down in the corner. A shot from a sharp angle sent back to him by the pad of Carson Musser. Grammer, far side, shot towards the goal, comes from Smith, comes to the near side. Grammer sends one towards the goal, doesn't get there though as the Caps kick it into the corner. Held in at the line for a brief moment, but Grammer turns it over at neutral ice and will force the team to play back as it's picked up at neutral by Doms. He'll carry in. Toe drags around Ramsey. Ramsey plays it out front. Or rather, Doms plays it out front after getting around Ramsey, and the Capitals will go recover inside their defensive zone. They turn it over there. There's not a ton of clean breakouts tonight for Madison, which that's one way to really play your way out of this dump and chase style that Des Moines likes to play, is you have those clean breakouts, and they just haven't been able to this evening. A hand pass on Madison will take the draw just outside the defensive zone. 17-10 to go, period number 2. 1-0 our score. Face off just outside the defensive end. Sam Rice, the centerman, up against Andrew Clark. Face off one back just outside the offensive end by Des Moines. They send one in on goal. Musser holds for a whistle. 17:04 to go in the second. 1-0 the score. Madison in the lead. The faceoff will be on the near side to the right of Musser. Sam Rice and Andrew Clark, the two-team centermen, to go at it here in just a moment. Faceoff snapped back by the Capitals. Sam Rice wins the draw. It'll start up the middle, but it's intercepted there by Clark. Clark will carry into the offensive zone. Clark with a shot that goes wide the whole way and cooks up at neutral ice. Does Des Moines. They achieve the red line and send it down in deep. It'll go in on goal, but Elias will start up the near side wall to start things for Madison. But Minahan intercepts. A nice job by Sam Rice to recover. Rice achieves the red line and will carry into the offensive zone for Madison. Rice with a shot. Rebound kicks out front for a moment before Minahan can start back the other way for Des Moines. The Capitals pick up and will start back the other way as Sam Rice sends it into the far side. Johnson puts some pressure on the defenseman there in Dyer. Dyer starts up the near side. They'll play it ahead and send that one down in deep. Second dump into the period from Des Moines. We're keeping track this period as that's the style of play they want to play. Shot from Drotz blocked along the way by Brendan Lamb. Jamieson back behind the goal line, works for Madison. Up the far side wall, it's held in at the line by Buick. Buick to Van Ruyen. Shot deflects along the way, and it's held on to by Musser for a whistle. 16:02 to go in the second period. 1-0 our score. Face off to follow up on the near side to the right of Musser in goal. Reminder that it's Cross-Check Cancer Night. The Capitals would like to thank Allen Lund Company and Marian University for their support of Cross-Check Cancer Night. Businesses and universities just like theirs have helped us donate tickets to cancer survivors and their families to get them to come out and enjoy tonight's game. Faceoff was won back and sent down in deep by Des Moines once again as the Capitals will try to start up the far side. Instead, it's Des Moines picking up possession on the forecheck. Thought about playing a little lacrosse-style goal. Instead, it's picked up there by Buick, who activated himself deep inside the play offensively. Van Ruyen holds at the line. A shot deflected and blocked along the way by Michaud. The Capitals try to clear up the far side. They're unable to. Their second attempt once again unsuccessful, but maybe the third time's the charm for Madison is Uhlenkamp will settle things down and start up that far side wall. Long deflects it down in deep. The Capitals will go get a change. 15:15 to go, period number 2, as Des Moines starts up the middle of the ice. Van Ruyen up the near side. Another dump in from the Buccaneers. They say icing on Des Moines. So a faceoff will be in the offensive zone for Madison. Faceoff will be on the far side to the right of Dahlmeyer in goal. Dahlmeyer 6 for 7 in goal in period number 1. Hasn't really been tested here in the second quite yet. Kuzma, Nagel, Delaney, Toby, and Ramsey for Madison out there. As the faceoff will be on the far side to the right of Dahlmeyer in goal. Braden Ford able to win the draw forward for Des Moines here as Keevan through neutral ice will get things started back the other way to the Capitals. Des Moines sends it down in deep after they win a battle. The Capitals chase back after it up the near side wall. Toby has some pressure put on him immediately, and the Capitals try to work up against the near side. Glove down, shot from Watkins, glove saved there by Musser. 14:45 to go in the second. 1-0 the score, Caps in the lead. Face-off upcoming on the near side to the right of Musser in goal. Top line out there for Madison, countering with that Des Moines top line that remains out there of Protas, Watkins, and Keevan. Rellers and Watkins, a two-team centerman in the circle. Face-off on the near side, won back by Rellers. Sent up the near side wall by Henry. Bernabik has some pressure put on the defenseman there for Des Moines for a brief moment before eventually the Buccaneers are able to recover just inside their own defensive blue line. Grammer plays that one forward. Far side, Hong will pick up as Keevan tried to get fancy for Des Moines at neutral ice. Through neutral, far side, Rellers into the offensive zone. Has Hong. Hong behind the defense. Hong with a shot and a nice save by Dahlmeyer. Dahlmeyer doesn't know where it is. It was between his legs, which was really close to the goal, it looked like at first. But sure enough, stayed out of the goal. As Dahlmeyer thought he had it slipped through. Not the case. You see he was kind of nervous there, but it was actually towards the front end of his legs. And the Capitals will have an offensive zone draw with the top unit still out there. Des Moines counters with their third. Kernan and Rellers, the two-team centermen in the circle. Face-off one back by Rellers. Bernabik at the line will hold in for a brief moment before Des Moines puts some pressure on him. And the Capitals out at neutral ice take back over on possession as Des Moines had got possession for a brief second before Hong now on the half wall takes over. Hong up the far side, now Stout into the corner for Bernovic. Rather, that's Relders. Relders tried to feed it to Bernovic on the near side. Des Moines had a chance at it for a brief second, and Bernovic will go pick up in the near side corner for Madison. Tied up along the wall. Bernovic plays it into the corner. Hong there for the Capitals, but unable to stop the puck with the speed it had, and held it at the line by Stout. Near side, Hong. Hong looking for options, throws on the brakes, has Stout far side, but instead of backhanded down to the corner where Bernovic will go to work, as well as Relders. Relders will play it up that far side wall where Michaud can hold for Madison. Relders on the far side half wall. It bounces off the glove of Dahlmeyer and into the corner where Elias can pick up for the Caps. Goes out to neutral ice, though, and the Capitals will be forced to send it back in after touching up. Dahlmeyer will pick up and leave there for a defenseman. It'll be Owen Dyer, the Northern Michigan commit, up the far side wall. Des Moines tries to send it down in deep, and Ashton Doms will eventually finish the process there as Michaud shoved up against the wall. Elias comes away with possession, and the Capitals counter back the other way. Johnson into the offensive zone for a brief moment. Clark intercepted him there, though, as they achieve the red line, and Minahan will chip forward where Elias takes over for Madison. Elias sidesteps the first Buccaneer, forechecking him as Rice now into the offensive zone. As it roll off the end of his stick, he'll play it down into the corner. A little too far ahead of Jack Brandt. Diego Johnson goes for a change, but Sam Rice will go pick up possession for the Capitals. Rice behind the goal line looking for an option. Short side shot that time as he comes up the near side wall and out towards neutral ice where Nathan Toby has some pressure put on him by Des Moines. Rourke down in the near side corner. Played his first season of junior hockey with the Corpus Christi Ice Rays as he sends one towards the net. A shot from Minahan goes wide of the goal after Muster got a piece of it along the way. Up the near side, Ty will play off the wall for a brief second before it makes its way to Rourke in the corner again. Minahan now with a shot from a sharp angle behind the goal. Actually, it was so sharp that it goes wide of the net and into the far side where two work up against the wall. To his side, and the third joins for Madison. Puck comes down behind the goal line where Jamison can play for Toby, and the Capitals will start up that far side wall. Long to Jamison on the near side. He achieves the red line and sends it down in deep. Ben Ruin will pick up with the backhand and he'll start up the far side. Coming through neutral ice now and into the offensive zone. He sends it in on goal via the dump in and picked up in the far side corner by Des Moines, and they relay it to the point. But back down into the corner it goes. Drotz up the near side wall. Zelinka there for a brief moment, had possession, but tied up once again in this scrum. And eventually it pops out to Sean Ramsey for the Capitals behind their own goal. Ramsey up the near side wall. The Capitals through neutral ice. Jack Henry ahead for Ty. Ty down into the offensive zone. The Capitals will make a quick change as it's picked up defensively for Des Moines up that far side wall and through neutral ice. It's carried into the offensive zone by Braden Ford. Ford will chip that one around a couple of caps, and the Capitals will go and have possession for a moment before Watkins sends one towards the goal. It goes wide. To his side work in the corner as John Stout battling for possession gets it forward, and the Caps have numbers back the other way. It's a 3-on-2. Kuzma far side in the slot that time. It was Delaney trying to keep possession, but it was poked away by a Buccaneers player. Nagel on the far side starts things back up ice for Madison. Delaney ahead. They got a piece of it, they say, as it goes all the way back in. Buick has a stick of a body tied up there in his chest as Kuzma to the far side. A penalty upcoming on Edison Engel. The Capitals will have a Carson Musser head to goal. An extra attacker on for the Caps is on the far side. A shot from Stout finds its way into the body of Ben Keevan as the Capitals led to their first power play of the night. The Caps power play comes in at 20.4% of this season. You see it here. Edison Engel, rather, that might be Ilya Protas in the box. The Capitals lead 1-0 in this one. Aiden Long with the lone goal for Madison. As let's take a look at our out-of-town scoreboard. Thanks to our friends at MadCapsHockey.com. MadCapsHockey.com, your one-stop shop for all things Capitals this and every season. NTDP U18's taking care of business against Cedar Rapids. Had a 5-1 lead last night. They blew it, and Cedar Rapids won in a shootout. 6-1 lead with 4 to go in the third. It looks like they have that one underway. 3-1 Green Bay halfway through the third leads Waterloo. 3-2 Chicago leads Lincoln halfway through the third. All square at 3 in Kearney. as Fargo and Tri-City tied up there, and halfway through the third in Sioux City, Youngstown leads 2-1. Our old friend Nathan Lewis with a goal in that one in the first period. It was a pair of first-period goals coming just 25 seconds apart for Youngstown in that one, giving them that 2-0 lead halfway through the third, as Dubuque leads Muskegon 1-0 as well. And, of course, the game you guys are all here for, the Capitals leading 1-0. Aiden Long with the lone tally in this one. The Caps sending to their first power play of the night. Last night, 1 for 3 on the man advantage. Power play on the year, 20.4%. Andrew Kuzma scored the lone power play goal last night, part of a hat trick for Kuzma. It won't be his unit to start, though, for the Caps. Brant, Hong, Johnson, Ramsey, and Bernovic for the Caps. Watkins and Hong, the two-team centermen in the circle. Faceoff is won back by the Capitals, but they're unable to keep possession as Braden Ford will chip that one down in deep. Ramsey has some pressure put on him right away by Ford. Ford ties him up, and the Capitals will take over on possession eventually here, 15 seconds into the man advantage. They start forward now. Bernovic through neutral ice, has it on his stick, sends it to the far side, and Hong takes over, but he'll have to be forced back into his own defensive zone before starting up ice. Hong into the offensive zone. Will try to settle things down for a brief second, but Watkins on the near side half wall tried to slam him up against the wall and send the puck. Instead, the puck pops up against the wall where a scrum occurs in the corner. 3-a-side work in that corner before it comes all the way out. Bernovic unable to hold the line. It goes down where Musser will start things back up ice for the Capitals. The first unit remains out there for the Caps as Ramsey steps out to the right of Musser and starts forward through neutral ice on the stick of Jack Brandt. Brandt has it roll off the stick. The Caps will go get a couple of changes here. Musser will be the only player back for either side. And eventually it'll be the stick that time of Jack Henry picking things up as the second unit out there. Delaney, Long, Kuzma, Nagel, and Henry for the Caps. Is the Caps onside into the offensive zone down in the near side corner. Henry holds the line. Henry, far side Nagel. Nagel takes Delaney's spot there for a moment before eventually getting it up top to Delaney. Henry back to Delaney on the far side. Delaney near side Kuzma. Kuzma wide sends one towards the goal. Hits the logo on the chest of Ethan Dahlmeyer for a whistle. 31 to go in the power play for Madison. The faceoff will be on the near side to the left of Dahlmeyer in goal. Madison 1 for 6 on the power play this season against Des Moines in the previous two meetings. Of course, the first penalty assessed in the game. Protas 2 for a hook. Faceoff in the offensive zone for Madison. Once again, as this unit still remains out there, it's the second unit, Delaney and Henry. Faceoff one to the near side wall by Des Moines. They try to send it down the length of the ice, but it hits the body that time of Kuzma, and Henry will hold it the line. Far side Delaney. Delaney line sends one towards the goal. Thought he had a lane that he liked, and eventually he'll get it up top to Henry once again. Henry near side Kuzma. Kuzma looks for a shooting lead. Far side Delaney. Delaney trying to feed it backdoor for Long, and it pops up to the point once again for Henry. 10 to go on the power play as Kuzma sends one high and wide to the goal. 10 to go on the power play as Kuzma sends one high and wide to the goal, tying a player up behind the goal line. 5 to go on the power play. Henry backtracks out as Rourke will send it down the length of the ice. Both teams back at full strength as Musser will play there for Henry, and the Capitals 0 for 1 on the power play here this evening. Rice through neutral ice has Uhlenkamp. Uhlenkamp backdoor feed looking for Delaney. We'll find Rice off the far side half wall as the two get tangled up in the corner there. Grammer ties Rice up and slams him down. The puck pops out, but Grammer's still giving it to Rice. Rice gives a quick little shove as Protas starts up ice. But the Capitals will benefit from Protas turning it over, and they'll send it down into the offensive zone. And they'll only go a couple feet into the offensive zone as they'll force the Caps to regroup at neutral. Uhlenkamp tried to feed it far side for Rice. Instead, it comes to neutral where Elias can settle it down for Madison up the near side wall. Keevan will hold for Des Moines. Sharp angle shot from Protas is fanned on, and it goes into the corner for Watkins. Up to the line. West, far side. Smith fed it to the slot, looking that time for Watkins. Instead, it makes its way to the corner for Protas. Up at the point, Smith shot. Rebound sits there. The Caps clear it into the corner, but Protas with a shot that time clears the window on the near side. He'll stay in play somehow. And on the near side wall, the Capitals battling with a pair of Buccaneer players. Puck pops out to Michaud, and the Capitals back the other way. Elias through neutral ice with 7 to go in the period. They'll send it down in deep. Lamb will put some forecheck on Smith as Smith will force his way up, and the puck pops off the wall and picked up by the defenseman Owen West, who will start through neutral ice. West ahead for Keevan. Keevan to the far side. Des Moines forced to touch up as the Capitals' John Stout will play over to Nathan Tobey and start up the near side wall. Behind the defense is Hong. Has Bernovic far side, won't use him. Shot, rebound sits there. Bernovic scores! Extending the Madison lead to 2. 6:34 to go in period number 2. It's the 37th of the year for Austin Bernovic. Off of James Hong's rebound. Hong's rebound comes right to him, backhands it back door. Austin Bernovic with a wide open cage, right place, right time for the Ham Lake, Minnesota native that's committed to St. Cloud State. Extends the lead to 2 for the Caps. As you'll see the above net cam view there, Hong backdoor feed, Bernovic does the rest, and the Capitals now in the driver's seat by 2. Rollers in this top unit will stay out there for Madison as Deladano will center the hodgepodge second line for Des Moines. Down in the corner, a couple of players battle on each side. Out front, the Caps had a chance at possession in the slot. It was Rayner's Rollers having it roll off of his stick. This one goes all the way down where Nathan Tobey can go pick up for the Caps. Up the near side, the Capitals will try to chip out towards neutral. Deladana instead will hold and stay onto the far side wall. Tobey through neutral. Backhands that one back in. Does Des Moines as they cleared the zone for a brief moment, it looked like. Instead, the Caps will be forced to play out towards neutral. And a nice job by James Hong. Plays the body, touches up in the process as well. As the Capitals will send it down in deep, will go get a change now. Dyer will go pick up in the far side corner. And Des Moines starts up ice. They're moving north and south finally after playing east and west. And now a chance behind the defense. A shot from Drotz. Ramps up and out of play for a whistle. 5:39 to go in the second. 2-1 our score. Face-off upcoming outside of the offensive zone. Wyatt Corrigan and TJ Lyle determined that one didn't touch anything. Face-off outside, and Andrew Clark kind of asking, why is this outside? I think he's got reason to ask that for sure. But it's Kuzma and Clark, the two-team centermen, just outside the offensive end for Des Moines. The face-off one back. Ben Ruyan will send one in on goal. Musser will play it into the corner. 10 dump-ins this period for Des Moines, and the Capitals will start back the other way. And through neutral ice, the Capitals trying to force things. Instead, at neutral, Buick will turn back and send it off the window down in deep. Musser looking for options, plays it to the near side, pokes it away from his own player, which is probably the smart move because Jamison was covered up there by a player. He didn't quite see him, did Musser, when he fed it to him on the near side. The Capitals will try to clear, but Des Moines will hold in. One key part of dump and chase, you have to have a good forecheck, and Des Moines has proved that this evening, going to capture pucks on attempted breakouts. Is a fan shot in the high slot, forces them to send it back in once again. Minahan clears it down in deep. Musser will play to the near side for Jamison, who plays it over to the far. Ramsey has a jump over his stick, but the Caps will be at neutral ice. Delaney steps off the wall and feeds to Kuzma. Kuzma into the offensive zone. The former Buccaneer to the near side to Nagel. Nagel back into the corner for Kuzma. Henry fresh off the bench. Far side Michaud into the corner for Delaney. Delaney continues it along for Kuzma down beneath the goal line. Kuzma loses possession to West. Battling back for it though. Instead, it'll be on the stick of Grammer, who starts up the near side wall. That one through neutral ice where it's picked up by Michaud, and the Capitals fresh off the bench. Brendan Tile chase after it. No icing as Grammer will achieve possession right before the goal line. Starts at the near side where Drotz is on possession. This one pops up into the suite next to me here. It looks like everybody's all right over there. As a face-off will be just outside the Capitals bench and outside the offensive zone. 4:05 to go in the second. 2-0 our score. Rice in this third line. Instead of Johnson, it's Brendan Ty, the Brown commit, an affiliate for the Capitals. Up here towards the end of the season, you'll see more and more of them throughout. As this one sent down in deep, no icing on the play as Michaud will play over to Henry. Henry up the near side wall, Ty tied up right away, and the two work on the near side. Henry works right into a player for Des Moines. It wasn't directly a player that was trying to get into him, but kind of worked out that way. Puck popped up into the sky. Munster got nervous there for a moment, and now it's 2-on-1 for the Capitals back the other way. Ty into the offensive zone, sends one towards the goal. Dahlmeyer sticks it into the corner. Brandt tried to settle it down for a moment there, but it'll be back the other way on the stick of Ben Keevan. Ahead for Watkins. Watkins jugs his legs and is the first one to it in the far side corner. He's tied up there, though, and the Capitals able to pick up possession back the other way. Up the far side, Rice to the middle of the ice for Ty. Ty chips it around Engel. Engel will play it up that far side and start back the other way. Stout tried to play it with the stick. Instead, it jumps over his stick. Deflected it along the way, so it kind of knuckled there. And now behind the goal, Elias is beat. Shot sits out front for a moment, but the Capitals able to clear to neutral where Brendan Lamb gets things started to Long. Long on the near side, holds the line down to the corner now. Lamb tried to poke it along, and a player taken down for Madison Uhlenkamp there. But it'll work out to Des Moines' benefit, at least for a moment, before Stout will defend center ice and send it into the offensive zone for Madison. Glove down there by Jack Kernan with 2.5 to go. In period number 2, Des Moines starts back up ice into the offensive zone on the stick of Theo Kiss. They'll ring it around the near side wall where Connor Buick will hold for a brief moment. Puck pops towards the slot. A rebound sits there off the Musser save and goes into the corner where it'll be John Stout running the body of Theo Kiss into the wall. We'll do it once again as the two work up against one another, and now Kiss comes away with a Kiss out front. Rebound pops to the slot. West with a shot, a nice shot block there from Uhlenkamp. Uhlenkamp using his body early on in his tenure back with the team. Uhlenkamp had one ramp up and hit his face last night. Came to the bench with a bloody mouth, but was back out there for his next shift. On the far side, down into the corner, a puck deflected towards the net. The Capitals will maintain a player taken down for Des Moines. No call will come. And on the far side, Zelinka spins back up top. Zelinka looking for a shooting lane. Throws on the brakes. Goes towards the goal. Deflects up and over off the window. Fed out front for a brief moment, but the Capitals send it right back into the corner. On possession there is Braden Ford. Ford up the wall to Buick. Buick towards the net. Blocked along the way. Never got to Musser. On the far side, Deladonna chases after it in the far side corner. 1:26 to go in period number 2. Caps lead by 2. Puck sits out front. Backhand backdoor feed. Never got to its intended target of the player going down into the zone, and Andrew Clark. And now Zelinka tries to go for the lacrosse-style goal. Instead, he lacrosses it out of the zone where it'll be Owen West, the Michigan State commit, starting back up ice. A 3-on-0. Back behind the defense. Des Moines on the scoreboard. Andrew Clark beats Musser glove side. The Capitals had been caught out there for a while. Back end of a long shift. The 3-on-0 prevails. And Andrew Clark buries goal number 4 of the season as Clark beats him low glove. The Capitals lead now just 2-1 with 1:03 to go in period number 2. Face off at center ice. The Capitals will have their second unit out there. Watkins and Kuzma to get us back started. The face-off one back by Des Moines, but the Capitals keeping their feet moving into the offensive zone, but it's gloved down by Rourke and sent forward. Rourke sends it down in deep. No icing as he had achieved the red line prior. As up the near side, the Capitals will try to get things out of the zone. 49 to go in the period. It is poked around a bit, and now Kuzma skates away with it, but it's taken off of his stick by Van Ruyen. Jamieson up the far side wall. Delaney ahead for Kuzma. Kuzma has a whole bunch of speed. Dyer keeps him in front of him, and the Capitals will put some forecheck on him as Van Ruyen back, tied up against the wall, and the puck comes to the far side. Van Ruyen still on possession. Van Ruyen, just south of 30 to go in the period. The Buccaneers into the offensive zone. Rourke has it taken off of his stick, and the Capitals poke it along. Trying to get things moving forward was Jamieson, but too late on that one was Kuzma. As the Capitals will have to sustain one last rush from Des Moines. Icing upcoming on the Buccaneers. That one deflected prior to the red line. And the Capitals will have an offensive zone draw here in a moment. 8 seconds to go in the period. Faceoff will be on the far side to the right of Dahlmeyer in goal. Rullers and Kernan, the two-team centermen in the circle. With 8 seconds to go in the period, Ramsey and Henry will switch places. Looks like they're trying to get the beneficial shots they want. Rullers and Kernan, two-team centermen. 8 seconds to go in the period. The linesman, puck buzzer, period number 2. Sure enough, they hold 2.2 seconds to go in the second period. 2 on the score, a face-off in the offensive zone for Madison here in a moment. Carson Musser beat for the first time tonight. 19 for 19 prior to that one. There's a face-off on the far side to the right of Dahlmeyer in goal. Nice angle there from the corner. On Flow Hockey. Face-off trying to win it forward was Relders. This one gloved down at the line. Bernovic got it just too late after the buzzer here in period number 2. 2-1 our score in favor of the Capitals through 40 minutes of play here at Bob Suter's Capital Ice Arena. Let's take a look at our second period highlights. Early on, it was Austin Bernovic, goal number 37 of the season, as Des Moines came back the other way. A couple minutes later, Andrew Clark buries that one to give Des Moines some life in this one. Caps fans celebrating the St. Paddy's Day weekend in style right there. As we'll see them throughout the broadcast, I'm sure, those fans on the far side. Caps take a 2-1 lead into intermission. You're listening to the Capitals Radio Network on YouTube and on Flow Hockey. Back here at Bob Suter's Capital Ice Arena, period number 3 upcoming as the Capitals facing off against the Des Moines Buccaneers. Through 40 minutes of play, the Capitals in the lead 2-1. Let's take a look at each of the goals. Here, Aiden Long shoulders that one into the back of the net. It deflects off the shoulder, and then it's Austin Bernovic making it 2-0 in the second for Madison, but back the other way, Andrew Clark tallies 1 for Des Moines. For Clark, it's goal number 4 of the season. And that's where we sit currently, a 2-1 lead in favor of the Capitals at the moment. The Capitals will travel right to left, wearing the white tops trimmed with lavender and navy due to it being cross-check cancer night. These jerseys are actually up for auction at the moment. You can find those jerseys over on Dash Auctions, and you can find the link for that at madcapshockey.com. Facing off against Des Moines. Hold them up, boys. A warning given. Des Moines will travel left to right. They're wearing the royal tops trimmed with white and red. Face-off one forward by Craig Ford, or rather, it being Braden Ford. Craig Ford was a linesman last night for the Capitals. And Waterloo game that the Capitals won 5-2. The Capitals looking to extend their little streak here to winning 7 of their last 8 games. Is down in the corner. The Capitals on possession. Start up the near side wall. Chips out towards neutral. Buick on possession. It'll actually be 8 of their last 9 for Madison if they're able to capture a victory here today. And it's into the offensive zone. Des Moines sends it once again. The Capitals 7-3 in their last 10 games. They had a pretty bad losing skid in mid-February that the Capitals were finally able to snap earlier this month. Towards the middle of the surface there, Delaney on possession. He'll backhand that one out towards neutral ice. Strotz will send it right back in. The Capitals will go regroup. Des Moines touches up, but the Capitals on possession, and he'll break it out through the middle of the ice. It gets to neutral ice and eventually sent out all the way down to the offensive zone where it's picked up by Owen Dyer. Dyer into the offensive zone where it'll be Jack Henry starting up the far side. Bernovic chips it around the player there for a moment. Tried to get it into the offensive zone. It'll eventually be sent into the offensive zone of Des Moines via Edison Engel. The Chicago Reapers AAA player, started the season there. He's an 07 defenseman. Big part of this Des Moines squad recently. 23 games played. It would be a high stick if the Capitals were the next to touch it. Rather, if Des Moines were the next to touch it. Instead, the Capitals will send it up that far side wall. Keevan through neutral ice. Protas had the goal last night for Des Moines against Green Bay, and it comes through the slot to the near side where Keevan can settle it down once again. Protas puts it towards the slot. Stout tripped up along the way. The Capitals into the offensive zone on the far side. They chase after it as Grammer will be the first one back for either side. Roller's got his stick in the feet that time of Grammer. Grammer fell to the surface. No call will come from it. It's Smith. Aaron pass comes back his way, and Dahlmeyer will be forced to cover up. 2:01 into period number 3. 2-1 our score as a faceoff upcoming in the offensive zone for Madison. The faceoff will be on the far side to the left of Dahlmeyer in goal. Broken stick there. Cleaned up by Wyatt Corrigan, one of the linesmen for tonight's contest. Faceoff on the far side, it's Rice and Kernan in the circle. Both Minnesota State commits. Face-off one back by Rice. Sent into the corner by Brandt. Continued along to the near side. It goes just past Diego Johnson, and it's picked up by Ashton Doms, who starts up ice for Des Moines. Into the offensive zone. Kiss, backdoor feed. No one home. Nice job by the Capitals to lift the stick as the puck comes to the near side wall. Johnson taken down, but the Capitals try to clear out to neutral, and eventually it's Doms taking it there himself. Picked up just outside the Capitals bench by Jamison, starting up that far side. Another stick breaks for the Capitals as Brandt will backhand that one down and shovel it into the offensive zone. Rice puts some pressure on the defenseman there, and Connor Buick, and the Capitals looked like they were going to benefit with possession. Instead, they'll have to chase back after it. Elias beaten to the puck in the corner by the forward, putting some pressure on that far side, and Doms up the near side. A nice job to chip it around Clark, the goal scorer, but Clark goes and gets it back. Kiss in the corner, looking for options. Feeds it there to Doms, sits out front. Into the corner it goes now where Clark can regain possession. Clark with a shot high into the mask that time of Musser, but his glove got in front of it first. Holds for a whistle. 3:02 into the period. Caps still lead 2-1. Face off in the defensive zone upcoming. It'll be to the right of Musser in goal. Besides last night's loss, this Des Moines squad have been doing a pretty good job recently winning 6 of their last 10 games, collecting points in 8 of those games. Had the longest point streak going in the league a couple of games back. Lamb on the far side to take the draw against Clark. Faceoff is one into the corner where Jack Henry can pick up possession for Madison and start up the middle of the ice now. It goes a little too far in front of him and rolls off the stick, but the Capitals will chase after it. Possession for a brief moment before Rourke can start up the near side. Rourke trying to get bodied there was Long was trying to send the body on him, and now Musser will play up the far side. He'll jump back into his goal as a shot from that far side half wall coming from Owen West, who pinched down into the play, jumped up and out of play for a whistle. 16:36 to go, period number 3. 2-1 the score as a faceoff upcoming in the defensive zone for Madison. Second line hops out there for the Caps. Michaud and Henry out there for Madison on the back end. As Musser stands at the top right of his crease and stares to that far side faceoff circle. Or Braden Ford and company for Des Moines join Kuzma for Madison. Kuzma wins the draw back. It's played off the window. It jumps over the stick that time of a Des Moines player and goes all the way down for an icing. At an angle, wins the race to the hash marks with the hybrid icing. The faceoff will come all the way back into the defensive zone of Madison. Just a couple of seconds after they did it the first time, they'll do it again. Once again on that far side faceoff circle to the right of Musser in goal. Kuzma to take the draw. It'll be Ford on the other side. As in-arena organist Ben Welch plays a tune for the folks here at Cap Ice. It jumps off the corner as a shot from Des Moines. Plays off the window, and now a 2-on-1 back the other way. Kuzma has Nagel with him on the far side. Nagel trying to take a baseball hack at it into the corner, almost a golf swing as it got down and in on him. And back the other way comes Des Moines as they're able to recover, and Ford will send it down in deep. Rings it around the wall. It goes to the far side. The Capitals looked like they had a track to it and set it down on the corner on possession of Drotz. The Augustana commit down up against the near side. Ford on possession. Played it towards the middle. Up top now, Grammer shot. Kicked into the corner and almost deflected off the Capitals defenseman John Stout into the back of the net. Instead, the Capitals will start back the other way. Drotz and Nagel in the midst of a race there. Drotz will win that race. The Grand Rapids, Minnesota native will play it off the near side wall where Grammer can start up and try to chip it out towards neutral ice. Instead, it's Rollers back for Nagel. Nagel to the far side. Played down in deep by Jamieson. Nagel will go for a change, and Bernovic will be the first Capital on the possession of the puck. At least for a moment, it looked like he was going to have that possession. Instead, it comes out to neutral where the Capitals regroup. Send it right back where it came from, and Bernovic will capture possession on the near side wall. Puck pops out front. Rollers in the slot, feeds it back door, and it never got to James Hong. A great chance for Madison. Bernovic takes a hack at it, sends the stick of a Buccaneer player into the far side corner, and the Capitals start back the other way. It was Watkins' stick blocking that Bernovic shot as Bernovic puts some pressure on the defense of Des Moines up that far side wall. Turned over. Hong in the high slot sends one towards the goal. Comes to Ramsey up top. Ramsey far side looking to feed it back door for Rollers. It pinballs around, but it lands on the stick of Watkins and out towards the offensive zone. A shot from Protis finds the stick of Watkins. Watkins out front. Rebound comes to the near side. Sharp angle. Covered that time. Buick activated himself down into the play in an offensive zone draw for Des Moines to follow. 5:25 into the third. The Caps lead 2-1. Chances on both sides early on in this period. As you'll see the shot coming from that sharp angle. Trying to beat him 5-hole, but Musser does a nice job to keep that left pad in front. As the faceoff will be to Musser's left now. Rice and Kernan, the two-team centermen in the circle. The Minnesota State commits go to battle, and the team wearing purple, or lavender, I guess. Sam Rice able to capture possession, I guess showed the most school spirit to the school they're committed to, is up that far side through neutral ice now. Sent down in deep is on possession is Musser. He'll send it up the near side wall. Buick will be the first one on it for either side. And once again, battling for possession in the corner. Kernan sends it out front. It goes through the slot to the far side where West can maintain the zone for Des Moines, and down into the corner. Kernan slammed up against the wall to his side work in the corner. Johnson doing a nice job to play that body positioning and making sure that puck doesn't come out with anybody's stick besides the Capitals. Brandt backhands it out towards neutral ice. Des Moines will send it right back in, and the Capitals will start back the other way. Brandt through neutral into the offensive zone. Jack Brandt stick handles around, and Dahlmeyer will hop on top of it for a whistle. West chases Brandt down there, but Dahlmeyer stands tall in goal, and you see him there on Flow Hockey. Bit of confidence his way. Much more confidence than when these two sides faced in Game 1 of the year. Dahlmeyer came a long way since then. In that first game of the year, Dahlmeyer chased, gave up 6 goals in the first 2 periods of the game. There's a Caps 11 offensive zone draw. The fourth line out there with Brendan Ty joining him on the right wing, replacing Gavin Uhlenkamp. Faceoff is one back long. Tried to play it to the point for Stout. Instead, he'll play it into the corner. Chasing after it there is Dyer. He'll play it up that far side wall and sent right back into the corner by the Capitals. Lamb will go put some forecheck on it up the near side wall. It's out at neutral ice where Des Moines can have a 3-on-2 back the other way. Clark towards the slot there. A nice job to play it into the corner. It jumps over the stick. A nice bounce for Madison as the Caps will start back the other way. Lamb into the corner. Chasing after it are the Caps. Engel plays it up the far side wall and now through neutral ice. A nice job by the Caps to turn things back the other way and send it down in deep. Kind of hit them with their own medicine there, as Engel will have to pick up from beyond his own goal line and start up by 7 minutes into this third period of play. Musser will leave there for Jamieson, and Jamieson will play off the end wall to his defensive partner, Nathan Toby. A bit far in front of him, but Toby able to get possession back the other way nonetheless. All the way back where Smith turns over for Des Moines. Kuzma, a little pressure on the far side of Van Ruyen. It helped take over after the Capitals were able to intercept a pass. Nagel on the near side, powering his way towards the goal. Nagel with a shot. That goes into the corner. Kuzma loses an edge. And out come the Buccaneers once again. 12.5 to go in the third. Into the offensive zone on the far side. A shot into the glove. Held on to for a whistle by Musser. 12:20 to go, period number 3. 2-1 our score as a faceoff upcoming in the defensive zone for Madison. It'll be to the right of Musser in goal. As you'll see, that shot goes right into the glove. Musser had no hesitation with that one along the way. Top line out there for Des Moines. Kuzma's unit remains for Madison. Caps up 1. The faceoff is won back to the far side wall by Watkins. Keevan continues along to Protas, who brings it around the kick plate to Smith on the near side wall. Bring it down to the corner. Protas has it chipped around him by Ramsey, and the Caps should be off to the races here, but at the line it's held in. Van Ruyen, the captain for Des Moines, sends one towards the slot, and now Madison back the other way with a pair of forwards back on defense. Ramsey on the near side, far side. I think Nagel thought he had another player joining him there, but Kuzma had dropped back and was trailing him as Kuzma kind of being held up there by the player in Watkins. It'll be started up ice up the far side. The next whistle that's not an icing or a goal will be immediate timeout as this one sent into the corner. Jack Henry backtracks to Elias, and the Capitals will start up the middle of the ice. Throwing on the brakes is Hong, a little too far ahead of Rullers. Into the offensive zone, Des Moines sends it once again as Michel will go and pick up possession. He throws on the brakes, reverses course, sends it off the end wall to his partner, Jack Henry, and he'll send it all the way into the offensive zone. Austin Bernovic was stretching the defensive zone and forced Des Moines forwards, or rather defensemen, to back out. Rullers does a nice job to battle possession back for the Caps up that far side. It'll be icing if it gets there. Sure enough, it will be. Icing on Des Moines. Head coach and general manager Matt Curley doesn't like that one too much. Faceoff will be in the offensive zone. Smiling the whole way. Curley talking with William Fraser. Of course, Fraser, the referee, really not going to be able to call an icing play, as that's the guys who man the lines. Wyatt Corrigan and TJ Lyle tonight. Face-off, one back by Des Moines. Grammer takes it up that far side wall, chips it out to neutral ice. The Capitals will take over on their possession there, and Stout on the near side has to go all the way back as it rolled awkwardly off the end of Jamison's stick. Stout up the near side wall. Johnson steps off the wall, and it goes all the way back down in deep where Musser on possession. Musser plays there to Stout. Stout back over to the far side. Jamison ahead. Rice into the offensive zone via the dump in. Johnson will put some pressure on West. He'll be the first one to it for either side. Down in the corner, the two work. Brandt up the near side wall. Rice has it poked off of his stick. It'll go all the way down in on Musser. Musser thought about covering, and he'll eventually play it up the near side wall where it evaporates the zone and enters the offensive on the stick of Sam Rice. Rice gets around the first level of defense. Rice out front. Rice with the shot, and he scores! Sam Rice extends the Capitals' lead to 3-1. Sam Rice pokes it around the defenseman, Edison Engel. See ya. Sam Rice extends the lead to 3-1. 10-12 remains in period number 3. Sam Rice, 9th goal of the season. Here's that angle from above the net. The puck was a little far ahead. Dahlmeyer tried to poke it away from him unsuccessfully. Caps lead 3-1. Face-off back at center ice. Brendan Lamb and Andrew Clark, the two-team centermen, ready to do battle there. As William Fraser drops the puck, we're back underway. Caps up 3-1 as the goals read in the arena by PA announcer Rich Reynolds. Toby in the corner, battling there with Braden Rourke. Puck pops out for a moment. The Capitals will try to start up the far side wall. Eventually it lands on the stick of Uhlenkamp, near side Long. Long will send it to the far side. Uhlenkamp had some wheels going into that far side corner, but it'll be on the stick of Andrew Clark up the near side. Braden Rourke steps off the wall. Rourke transitioned to forward in the middle of last season. Had been a defenseman in his time in the NAHL with Corpus, as well as his brief early stint in his career with Des Moines. Rourke plays it off the end wall once again. Up the near side, Dyer has a jump over his stick. Long chases after it for Madison. It's a race to it. Long wins the race, sends one towards the goal. It goes wide. Knuckling past the net that's tended by Ethan Dahlmeyer. Clark up the far side, back towards the middle of the ice. Dyer tries to take over on possession. Kuzma ahead now for Nagel, far side. The Caps are offside, so they'll have to touch up. And with that time, Van Ruyen will start the rush up the far side where it's intercepted by Jack Henry. Caps turn it over, though, and Des Moines able to clear deep inside the offensive zone. Madison starts up the near side, fed out front. Keevan backhanded shot blocked by Henry into the far side corner. Michaud chips it up that wall. Keevan back out front. Nagel on possession for the Capitals. Shovels that one up and out of play. Hopefully everybody all right here in Middleton. We'll take our media timeout here in the arena, which means it's a great time to take a look at our out-of-town scoreboard thanks to our friends at Floor & Decor. Come explore unmatched selection of high-quality products, all at everyday low prices, and see how easy creating the space to match your taste can be. Discover your new Floor & Decor, now open in Monona and online at flooranddecor.com. Rather, the puck went straight out of play, so no delay in the action here. It looked like it was going to be the media timeout as a face-off won back by Des Moines. A shot from Keevan rings off the post, and it was the outside of the post from a sharp angle, so it went wide. Near side, the Caps try to clear the zone. Smith at the line. Michaud plays it into the corner, but Keevan back on possession. Keevan down low. On it for a moment is Protis. Protis shoved up against the wall. Kuzma has him down there, and Kuzma kind of takes him down. No call will come as Protis right on top of it. Protis being yelled at to get up as the Capitals will try to start things up the far side wall. Instead, it hops up on the cage. The Capitals will try to just kill some time. It jumps over the stick of a Buccaneer player, goes all the way down, but it won't go all the way past the goal line for icing. It'll actually settle up on an edge prior to arriving at the goal line. This one will go all the way down in on Musser, but it'll be held by Jamison before he can hold for a whistle. Hong into the offensive zone, tried to get past Buick. Instead, it's back the other way into the offensive end for Des Moines, but countering back, ping-ponging possession. Bernovic towards the net, goes over the goal, and into the corner now Relders. Relders jumps over the stick of a player there for Des Moines. Out front, Bernovic shot. Kicked into the corner by Dahlmeyer. Far side, down to the corner. Bernovic on possession. Thought about lacrosse style going instead to the far side. Toby shot. Blocked away. Could have been Toby's first USHL goal in his third season here in the league. As Toby backtracks all the way deep inside the defensive zone. Hong now up the far side. 7:10 to go in the period as James Hong settles things down on the far side half wall, deep inside the offensive zone. Hong looked like he was going to go for a change. He backed off now. 3-1. Caps lead. A nice job by Bernovic to sidestep the player there in Zelinka. Zelinka gets it back, though. Drotz in the high slot, takes it to the far side. Drotz down into the corner. On possession there is Kernan. Kernan tied up against the wall, 6:45 to go. As it steps away, held onto for a whistle. Musser hops on top of it. 6:45 to go in the third. 3-1 the score, and now we can get to the out-of-town scoreboard thanks to our friend at Floor and Decor. The NTDP picks up a pair of points. Cedar Rapids falls 6-2 in Plymouth tonight. 4-1 Green Bay takes down Waterloo. 3-2 Chicago over Lincoln. 4-3 in a shootout. Fargo over Tri-City. Youngstown extends their fourth-place lead over Madison to 8 points as they take down Sioux City 3-0. They'll play tomorrow as well. The Capitals at that point will have a game in hand over the Youngstown Phantoms. The Capitals, of course, we're keeping an eye on that one. The first game of that series not going their way. Youngstown does have a tricky trek in front of them here as the Capitals don't have to face off against any of those playoff teams that Youngstown does in the West. This is actually the last game against the West of the season for Madison, as the Capitals look to finish above 500 against the West this season. Also, it was Dubuque over Muskegon, that one early on in the third there in Muskegon. As a faceoff will be on the far side to the right of the goaltender, Musser, in goal. Rice in the third line for Madison. Watkins in the top line for Des Moines. A bit of an awkward lineup here in the defensive zone for Madison. Des Moines had a play drawn up for Ben Keevan. Instead, it comes back the other way. Stout will play it up the wall. He'll eventually take it into the offensive zone via the dump in after it landed right on his stick. Rice in the near side up the wall. Brandt shot goes off the end wall and will be held in at the far side by Henry. Down into the corner, rings around where Johnson can leave for Brandt. Brandt tied up there for a brief second as Watkins starts up the wall. Keevan through neutral ice now. Will have it jumped off of his stick for a brief second before Buick can send it into the offensive zone. Settled down on the stick of Stout. Stout finds Brandt into the offensive zone on the outlet pass. Brandt, near side, Johnson, backdoor feed. Already down on the ice with Sam Rice. As back the other way now comes Des Moines. Down in deep. West, send it down there where Elias can pick up for the Capitals. Under 6 to go in the third. Caps lead 3-1 in this one. Looking to pick up 4 points on the weekend. And at worst, not lose any ground on Youngstown. And fourth place in the Eastern Conference this week. Smith up the near side. He plays it there for Kish. Kish rings it around the wall to the far side now for Des Moines in the corner. It's Kernan. Ramsey starts up that far side wall for a brief moment. It pops out front, glove there by Musser. Held onto for a whistle. 5:27 to go in the third. 3-1 our score in favor of the Capitals. Goals in this one for Madison coming from Long, Bernovic, and Rice, giving themselves good candidacy for our Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison 3 stars of the game, which will be on the post game right away. Lamb and the centerman on the other side, Clark. He scored the lone Des Moines goal of the night in the circle, ready to do battle. Face-off won back by Lamb. Elias pestered right away, though, and Des Moines gets possession back. A nice job on the forecheck, and the Capitals on possession up that far side wall. It's in neutral ice, and now Lamb and Long on a 2-on-1. Lamb on the far side, shot that time, and it goes into the corner. A nice job by Dahlmeyer. Lamb looked like he was going to pass until the very last second, which is perfect on a 2-on-1. You draw the defender in, and he can't really do much as he's got to play the pass. Is on the far side, Lamb pesters a player there, number 22, Deladonna for Des Moines. Penn State commit down into the corner. This Des Moines squad, besides the backup goaltender for tonight and their first line left winger, all committed to play Division I hockey. Very nice there. Lamb with a shot, another save from Dahlmeyer. Comes into the near side corner. Lamb takes it up the wall, up top now for Toby. Toby, I don't know if he realizes, doesn't have any forwards out there with him, but it doesn't matter as it pops out awkwardly to Kuzma. Kuzma takes a little hack at it, and they'll have another chance at it in the far side corner as Minahan doesn't even try to win the race to the corner against him. Nagel up top, now Toby towards the goal, blocked along the way. Nagel chases after it for Madison. The Caps will capture possession just outside the offensive zone. It'll be offside on the Caps as Delaney was a little too tardy to get out of the zone. 4:09 to go, period number 3. 3-1 the score. Face-off just outside the offensive zone opposite the Des Moines bench. Kuzma and Ford out there for Des Moines as the bench starts to shorten for Curley and company on the Buccaneer bench. Into the offensive zone, Drotz has it poked off of his stick, and the Capitals back the other way. Near side, Kuzma had a hat trick last night towards the middle. Nagel taken down with no call out of nowhere, but Delaney goes and digs that one back. Kuzma tried to feed it up top. Eventually, Kuzma will get possession in the high slot. Kuzma stick handles his way around. Shot there, gloved by Dahlmeyer and held on for a whistle. Jamison had started up the near side wall. Jamison, I think, had a little chirp for Kuzma there. I think Jamison was looking for goal number 5 of the season. Would have been starting down that near side wall. Instead, it'll be a face-off on the far side. I'm sure Kuzma definitely wants a goal in this one. Scored against his former team in the first matchup of the year between these two sides. Scored twice, actually, to be exact. Face-off. One back by Ford up that far side. It's picked up by West. Brings it to the near where Buick can start up ice for Des Moines. Through neutral now, Zelinka into the offensive zone with 3.5 to go. We'll keep an eye on Dahlmeyer in the Des Moines net. On the left side of the ice here, Bernovic to the middle. Hong ahead now for Stout, who jumps up into the play. He'll chip it down to the far side corner. Bernovic will put some pressure on. Nice play by Stout at this point of the game as Hong now has it out front looking for Rullers. Instead, it's back the other way for Des Moines. Keevan behind the defense. Keevan powering his way towards the goal. A nice glove save there by Carson Musser. 3:09 to go in the third, and Ethan Dahlmeyer heads to the bench. An extra attacker on for Des Moines. I think a timeout will be coming for the Buccaneers at this point as well, which means it's a great time to take a look at our goal scoring summary. Scoring in this one early on, it was Aiden Long, 6:35 into the first period, 7th of the season. Kuzma and Henry with the assists on that one to give Madison a 1-0 lead at intermission number 1. The Caps would add on to that lead in the second period, 13:26 into the period. Bernovic, 37th of the season from Hong and Toby to make it 2-0 Caps. Clark helped Des Moines start the claw back as he scored his 4th of the season to make it 2-1 at intermission number 2. Sam Rice scored at the 9:48-minute mark here of period number 3. His 9th of the season for number 9, assisted by Brandt and Musser on the assist as well to give Madison the 3-1 lead that they currently have. As the Capitals will look to keep pace with Youngstown in the Eastern Conference standings. Faceoff will be in the defensive zone to the right of Musser in goal. As we return to play here in just a moment, the Capitals have a meeting of the minds just outside the crease. As the faceoff will be on the right side of Carson Musser in goal. Sam Rice, Liam Watkins. 6 attackers on for Des Moines as the net vacant to my left. Faceoff one back by Rice. Elias sends one towards the empty net. It'll go just wide and a race to it. Won by Jack Brandt, and they call the icing nonetheless. No change is going to be allowed for the Capitals. But Jack Brandt clearly won that race in the hybrid icing as the two linesmen will meet up and decide where to take this draw. By no means should that have been icing. And they will still rule it an icing, and the Capitals bench does not like it. Jack Brandt won the race to it. Could have slammed home a goal that put the cherry on top of a 4-1 win. Instead, it's in the corner, and it's won back by Des Moines. Angle with a shot. Stopped by the blocker of Carson Musser. The Capitals tried to clear it out to neutral. Sam Rice tried to take a hack at it, and it goes out towards neutral ice, but the Capitals were trying to send it to the empty net As on the near side, Jack Brandt has his stick lifted, and into the offensive zone comes Ashton Doms. Doms has it poked away. Michaud with a goal last night will take his stab at the empty net, and it goes wide. Icing on the Caps once again. 2:38 to go in the third. I don't think the timeout should come out of the pocket quite yet for Andy Brandt. The faceoff will be in the defensive zone. Diego Johnson taking his nice time to get back into the play. The faceoff upcoming to the far side to the right of Musser in goal. Zelinka, Kernan, Watkins, Protas, West, and Keevan for Des Moines. Well, the faceoff being won back by Des Moines. Protas leaves there for Keevan. Keevan takes it into the corner. Up top now for West. West with the shot. Sticked away, and now the stick of Musser goes into the corner as Elias hands it back to his goaltender. A shot comes from that far side and comes to the near side, where it's picked back up by Kernan. Zelinka, far side, shot from West. Pops up in the air, blocked along the way. Zelinka gloves it down. Zelinka towards the goal, blocked along the way. Elias got a piece of it. Sam Rice will send it towards neutral ice, but instead it'll be stopped along the way by West. Keevan back up top West. Near side, Kernan. Kernan for Des Moines. Down by 2 are the Buccaneers. Johnson looks to make it down by 3, and it just goes wide. 1:56 to go in period number 3. 3-1 the score. I believe a timeout will be taken by the Capitals staff here in a second. I'd have to imagine Andy Brandt will use his timeout here. You just see it on Flow Hockey, just barely missing that one was Diego Johnson. Andy Brandt will use his timeout. So let's take a look at that out-of-town scoreboard once again for you. We already went through all the games that are final. 2-1 in the third. Dubuque at Muskegon. Jack Brandt talking with the linesman, hey, why wasn't this icing, or why was that icing a little bit ago? Because it would be 4-1 at the moment. I would assume that Jack Brandt would have been able to get a piece of it. And the linesman kind of tells Brandt what the excuse was, and Jack Brandt goes to report to Andy Brandt. No relation between the two, but just a coincidence. Faceoff will be in the defensive zone on the far side to the right of Musser when we do return to play here in about 20 seconds or so. Caps, of course, looking to keep ground with Youngstown. You used to be able to say, it's too early in the year to be looking at the standings, but this being the 11th from the season ending, the Capitals, of course, looking to keep pace and hopefully have a home playoff series here. But also at the same time, 2 points in the playoff hunt would go a huge way as Cedar Rapids lost tonight. Chicago won, but if Madison were able to win, they'd be 5 points clear of a playoff spot once again. On the far side, faceoff won back by Brandt. Or rather, that's Lamb, and it's sent towards neutral ice. Uhlenkamp on possession. Uhlenkamp has it sticked away and back the other way. Jamison tried to send one out. It'll be offside, so the Buccaneers will have to go touch up, and that'll allow Jamison to take his hack at it. And back the other way comes Des Moines. Des Moines turns it over. Uhlenkamp towards the vacant goal, and he scores. Gavin Uhlenkamp, goal number 3 of the season with the empty net, gives Madison the 4-1 lead. First goal since his return. He'll send that one into the vacant cage on the far side of the ice. From him at that point, scored from beyond center ice. And the Capitals lead 4-1 with 1 minute and 33 seconds to go in the third period. The Capitals bench high-fiving along the way, but giving a big credit to Brendan Lamb winning that draw and getting things started back the other way for the Capitals after the timeout. Face-off at center ice, Kuzma and Deladonna to do battle there. Face-off won forward by Theo Kiss, who will chip it into the offensive zone. Stout back the other way is Smith on possession to the far side. Through neutral now is Kramer, who sends it down in deep. It rings around the end wall to Musser, who will leave there for a moment for a player, and up the near side wall. It chips out of the zone. Kuzma puts some pressure on, and now it's a 2-on-0 behind the defense. Kuzma, Nagel, backdoor feed, and what a save there by Dahlmeyer late in the third. The Capitals almost had a 5-1 lead there. Instead, back behind the goal. Des Moines sends it up the near side and out towards neutral ice. Henry picks up possession. Henry near side for Stout. Stout to the far side now and into the offensive zone. Delaney leaves there for Kuzma. Kuzma on the far side, drops back Delaney. Delaney stick handles around one. Delaney with a shot from a short angle there and gets up that far side. Ramsey tried to hold the line, and Des Moines pressure there, able to get it out towards neutral ice. Deladonna turns it over. Nagel starts back the other way for the Capitals. Nagel into the offensive zone, sends one towards the goal, blocked along the way. Rebound comes to him, and an excellent save there from Dahlmeyer. 28.4 seconds to go in the third, and Dahlmeyer having some of his toughest work of the night, reaching against his momentum with the glove to keep this just a 3-goal game late in the third. Face off on the near side to the right of Dahlmeyer in goal. Rullers and Kernan, the two-team centermen. Face off one back by Rullers. Michaud at the blue line gets it to Bernovic in the high slot. Bernovic trying to poke it away and will do so. Bernovic looking for options here, takes it into the corner, gets it up top. Michaud sends one towards the goal. A nice job by Des Moines to just let that one go wide of their goaltender and not get a deflection along the way, as Michaud will spin things right back up ice. A little too far ahead of the player there. It'll be icing if it gets there. 3.4 seconds to go in the third. 4-1 the score. Madison in the lead and will take home win number 26 of the season and improve to .500 on the win-loss percentage here this year. Also, will keep pace with Youngstown, who won earlier this evening in Sioux City. Face off in the offensive zone. On the near side, they'll also win the season series with Des Moines, and for the first time in a while, the Capitals back at .500, picking up the 4-1 victory here in this one. Let's see how we got there on Flow Hockey. We'll have your game recap highlights here for you in just a second. Carson Muster more than likely the first star of the game, but it was Aiden Long getting us started offensively in this one off of his shoulder. Austin Bernovic added one to make it 2-0. Back the other way, Andrew Clark with a goal of his own to make it 2-1 Capitals, getting into that Caps lead. But then Sam Rice with a goal to make it 3-1, and now Gavin Uhlenkamp, first goal since returning to the Capitals, his third of the season, gives Madison the 4-1 victory. Back at home next Saturday night as the Capitals will face off against the USNTDP U17 team. It'll be the first of 3 straight at home against the U17s as the Capitals end the 5-game homestand with 4 victories in the process. So you can't ask for much better of a homestand if you're Madison, and you can't ask for much better than 8 of your last 10 games, 8 of your last 9 to be exact, but it'll show 8 of the last 10. The Capitals, the hottest team in the league over the last 10 games. Over their last 10 games, they're 8-2-0-0. The next closest 7-3-0-0. As we'll get to the Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison 3 stars of the game. I'm sure Carson Muster will receive the first star. I would have to imagine Bernovic and Sam Rice in the mix, as well as the Capitals with a 4-1 victory back here next Saturday night. It's Wiener Dog Races presented by our friends at Portillo's. Should be a great one here at the arena. Here we have a hot dog deal coming out as well. In a couple of games here, or a couple of days, we'll have that deal for you. But Caps win 4-1 in this one, taking down Des Moines.